Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a pretty tough truth about trading, all through the lens of Mark Douglas's classic book, The Disciplined Trader. We're going to figure out why so many people lose, and more importantly, how you can be one of the few who actually win. So let's start with a number, just one number, 90%. That's about how many traders out there are consistently losing money. We're talking year in, year out. So if it's not about finding some secret magic formula, what's really going on? Well, here's the big secret, and it's not a secret at all. As Timothy Slater says in the book's foreword, success is 80% psychological and only 20% methodology. Think about that. This whole game, it isn't really about better charts. It's about winning the war inside your own head. All right, so let's dig into that 90% number. Why? Why do so many people fail at something that when you look at it from the outside seems so straightforward? Well, you know the dream, right? The financial freedom, the fancy cars, the idea that you can just click a few buttons and make a fortune. It's a powerful story, but for most people, the reality is a total nightmare. It's crushing financial pressure. It's fear, stress, anxiety, just constant disappointment. And it's in that gap between the dream and the reality that almost everyone gets wiped out. And listen, this isn't some academic theory. The author Mark Douglas lived it. He says, and I'm quoting here, "I had to lose my house, my car, and practically everything else I owned to learn." I mean, the guy went from a super successful career to being totally broke in less than a year. And that's what forced him to figure out what the real problem was. And that rock bottom experience, it led him to this huge realization. The problem wasn't the market. It was him. It was his own mind. The charts weren't broken. His psychology was. So here's the core idea that honestly changes everything. Douglas says the market does not create the ways in which you perceive it. It merely reflects what is going on inside of you. Okay, think about that. The market is just a mirror. It's neutral. It doesn't make you feel fear. It doesn't make you feel greedy. It just shows you the fear and greed you already brought with you. So the whole game is mental. It's about managing your internal state. Fear is your number one enemy. It literally blinds you. It limits the information you can even see, and it makes you create the exact losses you're terrified of. And the only cure for that is real self-confidence, which is just an absence of fear, and self-trust, which is knowing what you have to do and just doing it, no hesitation. Okay, so you might be wondering, why are we so bad at this? Why is our psychology so totally wrong for trading? Well, Douglas has an answer. It's because the market is a completely unstructured world, and that's something we've never, ever experienced before. This is the heart of it, right here. He calls the market an unstructured environment. There are no outside rules to protect you. There's no start, there's no finish. It's just you. You and only you are responsible for creating all the rules, all the structure, for everything you do. And think about what that really means. Prices are always moving. There's literally unlimited potential to make money, but there's also unlimited potential to lose everything. The game only starts when you say so, and it only ends when you get out. And here's the scariest part. There are no guardrails. No one is going to stop you from blowing up your account. In this world, the market is never wrong. Only you can be. This is the complete opposite of how we're raised. I mean, think about it. School, jobs, society, it's all about external rules, boundaries, someone else telling you what to do. But in the market, nope. You have to be your own boss, your own risk manager, your own safety net. You are 100% responsible for the outcome. So if our brains are basically wired wrong for the market, what do? How do we even begin to adapt? This is where Douglas introduces a totally new way of thinking, a mental framework built just for this crazy environment. And here is the single biggest shift you have to make. The goal is not to predict the market. It's not to control it. That's impossible, so just stop trying. The real goal is to learn how to control yourself, to manage your own mind so you can actually function inside the market's chaos. Now, this isn't an overnight fix. Douglas lays out a three-stage journey. First, you have the mechanical stage. Here, you follow a trading system, rigidly, no exceptions. This is how you build discipline. Then you move to the subjective stage, where you start to carefully mix in your own judgment. And finally, if you do the work, you can reach the intuitive stage. This is where you trade without fear. You just flow with the market. You see what you need to do, and you do it.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do we actually put this into practice? What does a disciplined trader do every day? Let's break it down.
All right, here are 5 foundational rules. Number 1, be objective. You have to focus on what the market is doing, not what you hope or think it should do. Number 2, and this is huge, predefine your risk. Before you ever click that buy or sell button, you have to know exactly how much you're willing to lose. Third, cut your losses. Just accept you're wrong, do it fast, and do it without emotion. This frees you up for the next good opportunity. Fourth, you have to take all the signals your system gives you. This is how you build trust in the system and, more importantly, in yourself. And finally, number 5, start thinking in probabilities. Let go of needing to be right on this trade. Focus on the edge your system has over hundreds of trades. When you boil it all down, all of these rules point to this one simple truth. As Douglas puts it isn't you against the markets, it's just you. The fight isn't with the chart on your screen. The real battle is with your own beliefs, your own fears, your own impulses. And that's the end game, right? All of this discipline, all of this hard work, it's all about getting to one place, learning how to trade without fear. Because fear is what destroys your objectivity. It's the enemy. And when you finally get rid of it, that's when you open the door to real clarity and real consistency. So, I'll leave you with this, a final question that really gets to the core of this entire philosophy. The next time you put on a trade, ask yourself this: are you trying to be right, or are you trying to make money? Because believe me, the answer to that question will change absolutely everything.